My lines. Come on, nigga, your lines together.
Welcome.
Yo.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Hope incredible.
Awesome. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm pretty well. I can't complain.
All right, great. All right, well, let's get
How about
started.
yourself?
Say that again.
How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. All right, so I am Alicia Minto, checking in from South Carolina.
And what's going on? It's Chris Cave from New Jersey.
And Tasheem Poole coming in from South Carolina.
We are bringing you real money talk.
From real people.
On a real journey to real financial freedom.
We have been called to break down global economic concepts and ideas.
To help you grasp and understand the realities of what's happening around you and how it impacts your livelihood.
So hear the red pill revelation from our perspective as thinkers as we navigate through this twilight zone and what we can do in the now to protect ourselves.
We are the Real Money Entourage.
We are the Real Money Entourage.
We are the Real Money Entourage.
And we are, guys. Welcome to the Real Money Entourage. I'm excited to be before you today. We were chopping it up before we got on this stream because we have so much good stuff to bring you and hoping that you find value in all of our streams. Last week, we talked about the United States congressional record, and you'll hear me say that all last week because it was so important. If you guys did not get an opportunity to go back and check out our streams, definitely do so. You can also like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube channel, which is Red Pill Revelation. So let us get into today's topic. Who has your best interest at heart? It's Minding Your Money Monday. And we're going to start off because Alicia was sharing a story with us or just a conversation she was having. And we're going to share it today and kind of dive into that. So with that, Miss Alicia, I'm going to turn it over to you, ma'am.
Yes. And we had a phenomenal week last week. We really got to the core of a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So definitely want people to take a look at that. So in regards to who has your best interest, was having a conversation with a few folks today, and the conversation was, now is a great time to get a house. The interest rates are low, just a good time. If you got the money, now's the time to do it. And I kind of did a triple take when I heard that, because under normal circumstances, I would say, sure, the interest rates are low, go for it. But we are in the middle of a pandemic. We know that 40 million people have filed for unemployment. So that doesn't even tell you how many people are unemployed. With that, the stocks are just sitting pretty. It doesn't make sense. There are things happening, and trust you me, it may look appealing. Those interest rates may look real pretty, but trust me, there are things happening. And now, in my humble opinion, is not the best time to get yourself attached to any form of debt at all. I don't care if the interest rates are zero or negative. Now is just not the time to owe anybody anything. So that's my thought. That was a conversation that I heard today, kind of was engaged in, and it just, blew my mind because there's a lot going on, and I think we don't look at the big picture. So with that, Chris, I know we had talked about a little video we wanted to show. If you could rewind that video, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull this thing up right fast.
Take your time.
Y'all can see this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
you can.
The federal funds rate is the rate that banks use to lend each other money. When the Federal Reserve Board changes that rate, a ripple effect flows throughout the economy. The Fed monitors inflation indicators to manage inflation. When indicators rise more than 3% a year, the Fed raises the federal funds rate to keep rising prices under control. Higher interest rates mean higher borrowing costs, so consumers and businesses borrow less and spend less. Demand for goods and services drop, and inflation falls. On the other hand, Falling interest rates result when the Fed lowers the federal funds rate. Borrowing becomes cheaper and people spend more. This can end a recession. Interest rates tend to affect consumer and business spending. When they're rising, consumers and businesses spend less, causing earnings to fall and stock prices to drop. When rates fall, consumers and businesses spend more and stock prices rise. Bond prices and interest rates have an inverse relationship. As one increases, the other decreases. Governments and businesses raise money by selling bonds, but as interest rates move up, the costs of borrowing become more expensive. The demand for lower yield bonds will drop, causing their prices to drop. Lower interest rates make it easier to borrow money, and many companies will issue new bonds to finance expansion. This causes the demand for higher yielding bonds to increase, and bond prices climb higher.
Yo.
All right. So Alicia, you want to weigh in on that video?
Sure. So the things that stood out to me the most in regards to when they lower rates, because that's kind of where we are right now. The one thing that I heard was they do it so that they can end a recession, right? So I said, okay, well, how do we know that we're in a recession? Like, how do we even know that that's happening right now? So I just want to read something. And it says, a recession is a period in the business cycle when economic activities are in a general decline, typically accompanied by elevated unemployment, falling income, and consumer spending. So falling income and falling consumer spending, rising business failures, and falling stock markets. So it looks like all of these things are happening, but oddly enough, the stock market isn't falling. So again, there's just something not quite right here. But we've got businesses failing all over the place. Bankruptcies are happening all over the place. There are stores that are not, that are not going to reopen, unfortunately. And we know that income is falling. We know that the unemployment rate is super high. So folks, we're in a recession. And I believe 6 months of a recession will ultimately provide a depression.
It will.
So we're there. Like, it's not fun. No one is toting it as being something pleasurable, but you have to understand where we are. And for people I know in my generation, I don't think we've ever truly experienced a recession or a depression. In 2008, yes, we were workers, but we were a little younger, so we probably didn't feel the 401k hit. We didn't have a whole lot invested in anything really. Our minds were somewhere else during that time. So understand what's happening. Look beyond, your day to day, and just really, grasp what is happening and how it affects your livelihood.
Wow, that is so heavy. Chris, do you wanna chime in on that? On what you said?
Enough, man. I mean, it's so obvious at this point, man. Once again, we just here to just get the information, so give you a better understanding, folks. This is what it's here for, man. Please take the advantage, the opportunity that you have, and try to move some of that money, man. Secure your money while you got the opportunity to.
And just to your point, Alicia, you said so many things. People look at this stuff on the surface, right? You talked about the conversation that you had and your family members or whoever it was looking to purchase a house right now, or thinking that now because interest rates are low that benefits them, when in actuality, we talked about this earlier, the economy, when people look at the economy, they base decisions, regular everyday people, you see, we're real people, regular everyday people base their decisions off of what the economy is doing, right? But that is a false illusion for where to put your money. And the reason that is false is because that is based on businesses, not you as an individual. There is nothing or no one that has been in office that has contributed directly to most of our households. So when we look at the economy as a whole, what are you basing that off of? If you were to lose your job, how are you going to pay for that mortgage?
Right.
Yeah, we got to make it make sense, right? We have to do a little deeper dive. And actually,
Question.
just to throw in a plug, go ahead.
We got a question more. We don't question enough.
All right, we don't.
Yes.
We don't. Just to throw in a plug, Alicia talked about the recession. We actually, one of our very first episodes, it's either on this platform or on our YouTube channel, guys. Please, if you have not had an opportunity, like, share, and subscribe. But she talked about the recession. We actually got deep into conversation about the recession and what that looks like for you in terms of the stimulus and all of that. But now we are, what, 2 months into the stimulus bill and all of that, and we've had some money thrown at us. So what's next? What's next? And like she said, it's a depression.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And just to piggyback off of you, Tashin. So yeah, the economy, the boost in the stimulus of the economy is for big business. It is not for us. We are the ones, and I have to give credit where, not even credit where credit is due, but the fact that I know we are where we're supposed to be right now, because on our earlier stream today, one of our top leaders in our money system, Mr. Michael Eldalco, he said these exact words I'm about to say, because we talked about this earlier, but we are feeding the beast.
Yeah, constantly.
And the beast is what is going to turn around and snatch everything that we have. But we feed it as consumers.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever little bit we get in our hands, we're ready to just throw it back out there, not truly, like Tashin said, protecting the economy in our own homes.
Got to put it to work, man.
We got to put in the
money
work.
And put it to work.
Right, and it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel abnormal because it's not what we're used to doing. So it's not going to feel good. It's not going to be comfortable, but it's going to be necessary in order for us to really strive through this recession. So yeah, let's stop feeding the beast. Let's stop feeding that beast and understand that stimulating the economy has nothing to do with us. It is all about the big businesses putting money back into their pockets.
Right, that's what they're doing.
Even if they decide to close and file bankruptcy, you're the one who's without the job. They're good. They're still solid. Trust me, they are not getting eviction notices. They are not getting foreclosure notices. They are not unable to put food on their table because they filed for bankruptcy, but you don't have a job anymore because they've shut down their locations. So you got to protect you. Whatever you're doing, you need to do something additional to start protecting what you've done so far.
And we have been taught the game of checkers when the game of money is chess, right? So we have to learn to maneuver these chess pieces. And because most of us don't have real teachers, real mentors, real people out here that can be our example, where we see that are creating and building wealth for themselves, it's hard. But if you can hear the sound of my voice, Miss Alicia's voice, or Chris's voice, then this is it. Like, this is your opportunity. You definitely want to get connected with one of us so you can connect to the system, because the system that we were taught it wasn't for us to begin with. Nothing that you're doing currently is helping you progress. Nothing. We are spenders. That's what we are. And with that same token, just to throw a red pill out there to you, we are spenders, right? So if you keep spending and they just shut us down and put us on house arrest voluntarily, because most of us just went in the house voluntarily, and I'm sorry if I stepped on your toes, but if they did that, then what makes you think that what you have right now they can't stop? They can. This system allows us to get outside of that. We don't have to worry about interest rates or anything like that, which is beyond our control, because we are in control of our own money in this incredible money system. Yeah, y'all about to have me go off on a tangent about
you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it like, even they rocking us to sleep slowly. They singing us lullabies, even with the news. You know what I'm saying? Like, the news is pretty much making us feel like, we got the warm blanket the whole time. Like, the whole time it's a storm coming.
Mhm.
It's a storm that's here right now. And they let it be known that this is their job. It's the brainwashers. It's the misleaders. Like I said, it's a clip on here. Hold on, let me see. Let me show this.
You gonna bust the clip out now, Chris?
Bust the clip. Go ahead and bust the clip out on. Go ahead. You ready? You ready? Go ahead.
Let me see if I can find it first, right quick. Pardon me.
Give you the red pill early, but take heed to it because it's serious and pay attention because this is what they're doing.
And you have to guard what you hear. You have to guard what you see, what you intake. You have to be on guard and not absorb everything that you hear and everything that you see, because it can definitely be misleading.
Red pill revelation. Here we go.
Check this stream.
And I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at
control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at
that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at the
Yo, come on, man. Come on, man.
Oh, guys,
Come on, man.
Damn, Chris, you might have cut him too short. Did y'all hear what she said?
I'll maybe play this back one more time.
No, it's cool. We can play it for him at the end, but what she said was that to control the media and to control what you think is their job as media journalists. It is their job to control what you think. And that goes back to what Alicia just said. It goes back to what you just said.
Yes, you have to be mindful. Whatever they were talking about before then, it didn't matter, right? Don't even worry about who they were talking about. The fact of the matter is they said, that's our job to control what they think. Not what we tell them, not what we've heard and we're trying to disseminate as honest media outlets. We are trying to control what they think.
And they do. And they absolutely do. And we don't challenge what we believe. We don't, like what Chris said, we don't challenge it. We don't question anything. If you question nothing, you fall for anything. And most people do, which is why we have more follow the followers than we have leaders. People are looking for a solution for somebody like a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, and I'm just throwing those names out because that's what comes to the top of my dome at the moment. But people are looking for those people when you are the person that we're looking for. You are the difference maker. It starts with what you do in your own household. And what we failed to do and what we were not taught is to run our houses like businesses. The reason that our economies are failing and that we are bankrupt because we don't run our houses like businesses, which is why everybody needs a business, because the first business starts in your house.
Let me just interrupt, because when you talk about running your house like a business, understand that the current president has had, 8 bankruptcies. And guess what? The United States corporation is bankrupt. So they have the right person on the job to control a corporation that has gone bankrupt.
Red pill.
Get your dose.
So they are doing what they need to do for them. Make sure you do what you need to do for you. That's it.
Right.
It's simple. It's simple and it doesn't hurt.
Man,
You have no choice at this point. Like, you could ride the wave or you could create your own. It's 2020 right now. Come on. Y'all gotta get together out here.
Where's the perfect vision? Your eyes
gotta
need to
get
be
with
wide
it.
open. Your eyes have to be wide open. Yeah.
We are in the information age. Listen, no other generation before us had as much information as we have access to. Most of us are lazy and don't want to do the research on our own. So like I said, we have a bunch of follow the followers. But those dreamers out there, if you can hear me, if you can hear us, then definitely don't sit on this information. Follow it down the rabbit hole. We are only looking for dreamers. We know that the poor will always be amongst us. But for those of us who wants to make a difference and need hope, then we have a money system that you can plug into and you can get out of that altogether.
Guaranteed.
And let it bring you full circle to every area of your life, because it's not just about the money, it's what you can do with the money. But if you think about what you can do with the money, how much better would your life be if you didn't have money to worry about?
That's
If
right.
it was a non-issue?
That's a good question.
Get with us. Get with us. Okay, so we're coming to an end here. Thank you guys for tuning in again. If you have not liked our pages, of course, like our Facebook page and like, share, and subscribe our YouTube page, which are both Red Pill Revelation. Alicia, any closing remarks, ma'am?
Any closing remarks? I'm at a place where I'm feeling very airport-ish. So when you see something, you say something. And right now we see a whole lot. So we have a whole lot to say. And I hope that it is just as alarming as a unidentified package in the middle of an airport, that we're dropping this information right in front of you, but we're giving you not just facts, not just history, not just experience. This is real talk, and we are real people. And we're just trying to make sure that you understand that we're here to support you in your journey. Should you choose, and we really hope you do, choose to come on this journey with us, because we're doing it together. But yes, see something, say something. That's been the golden rule, and that is what we're doing. That's what we're sticking to.
Right. And question everything. Question everything. We don't question enough. This is the problem. This is the reason why we here right now. Come on now, let's get in here and ask some questions.
Why don't we question anything? Oh, because in school you were told not to question anything. So you've been indoctrinated into just being a follower. And unless you broke through that box, which some have, but you've been told not to question a thing. Go with the flow.
Not me. That's why I was always in the office. But that's a whole nother pill. We ain't gonna. Hey.
Tashin, what you got for us?
Look, you guys have dropped enough. Look, the dispenser, she just killed it. Look, so I don't have anything else. Chris, you can take us out with your last remarks and just play that video back. Guys, if you didn't catch it, catch the red pill, because this is really happening. And she might have slipped up and said what she said, but that was real. Like, she was speaking the truth, because there's no such thing as real journalism anymore. It isn't. It died a long time ago. These people are just working off of an agenda. And the longer you stay with the red pill, the more you'll get the doses. So, Chris, I'm gonna turn it back over to you, sir.
Hey man, like I said, question everything. I'm gonna play this back for y'all one more time. Ahoo.
And I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at
that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at the
exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at
Oh.
Ahoo.
Oh.